Hi everyone, in this episode we're going to begin creating a shader for our planet in shadergraph. It will be very simple for the moment and just pick a color from a gradient based on the height of the terrain at each point. Okay, so currently if we want to use shadergraph we need to install the lightweight rendering pipeline. So I'm going to go into the package manager, go into all, and then just scroll down to find that over here and just click install. And this will just take a little while. And once that's done, I'm going to create a new folder called graphics, and in there I'm going to create a lightweight pipeline asset, and we need to assign that in the graphic settings. So I'll just open that up, assign that there, and the planet's going to turn pink because the shader that it's using at the moment isn't supported by the lightweight renderer. So let's create a new shader, and I'm going to create a PBR graph, PBR just standing for physically based rendering. I'll call this planet, and then I'll create a new material as well, and call that the planet material, and set the shader type of that to planet. Okay, I'm now going to open up the color settings, and this is going to have a public material for the planet material, and then in the planet we're going to want to make sure those materials are assigned to each of the meshes. So over here I'll say mesh filters I dot get component type of mesh renderer dot shed material is equal to the color settings dot planet material. Okay, and in here where we're creating the mesh object, we still want to add the mesh renderer here, but we no longer need to assign a new material there. So I can just leave it as that. Alright, I will save that, go back into Unity, and now if we come into the color settings down here and assign the new planet material, the planet's going to turn gray because that's just the default color assigned to the shader here. Alright, now in order for this shader to work, we're going to need to know the elevation of the lowest and highest point of our planet. So I'm going to create a new C# script to help with this called minmax. This is going to be a public class, not inheriting from monobehavior. And it's going to have a public float min, which I'll make public to get, but private to set. And I'll do the same thing, public float max, public to get, private to set. Okay, and then I'm going to have a constructor, so public minmax, and this will just set min equal to float.maxValue, and max equal to float.minValue. I'll then have a public void add value, taking in a float v, and we can just say if v is greater than the current max value, then max will be equal to v, and if v is less than the current min value, then min will be set to v. Alright, then I'll save that and head into the shape generator, and here we can have a public minmax called the elevation minmax, and I'll assign that in the constructor. So elevation minmax is equal to a new minmax, and then each time the point is calculated on a planet, I'll want to calculate the final elevation before we return here. So I'll say elevation is equal to this. Okay, and we can just multiply this now by elevation. So I haven't changed anything, I've just moved it onto a separate line so that we can say elevation minmax dot add value elevation, and this way we're keeping track of the minimum and maximum elevation for all the vertices in the planet. Okay, so I'm now going to save this, go back into Unity, and I want to create a new C# script called the color generator. I'll open that. And this is going to have a reference to the color settings. And then I'll have a constructor to assign that. And then let's also have a public void update elevation. This takes in min-max, elevation, min-max. And here we're going to send that information to the shader. So we can say settings dot planet material dot set vector, and I'll call this vector underscore elevation min-max. So I'll just need to remember to call it the same thing in the shader. And then it wants the value as a vector 4. So I'll create new vector 4 and just pass in elevation min-max dot min and elevation min-max dot max. And I'll just leave the rest of the values as 0. Okay, so I'll save that, go into the planet script, and over here we have our shape generator. So just below that I'll create a color generator as well, called color generator, and I'll assign that in the initialize method. Color generator is equal to a new color generator, passing in the color settings. Okay, and now in the generate mesh method, just after all the terrain faces have had their mesh constructed, we're going to want to say color generator dot update elevation, passing in shape generator dot elevation min-max. Alright, I'll now save this, go into Unity, and I'll go into the graphics folder here and just double click on the planet shader to open it up in shadergraph. Now, currently we have just this one node, the master node, which is responsible for the output of the shader, and in particular we're interested in this albedo property, which is the color. So I'm going to start by adding a new vector2 property to the blackboard here, and we can enter a display name for this property, so I'll call it elevation min-max, and then we can edit its reference string as well, which is how we're referencing it from our script, so this should be exactly the same here, underscore elevation min-max. Okay, now if I right-click to create a new node, I can go into properties, and here we now have this elevation min-max property. So I'll click on that, and we can drag out the output here, and I'm going to search for the split node. So now we can split this into its min and max values. Now, before we can really do anything with this, we want to know the elevation of the planet at the current pixel that we're drawing. So let's create a new node, and I'm going to search for the position node, and I'm interested in the position relative to the center of the planet, so I'll just change the space here to object space. So now, if we want to know how far away the current point on the planet is from the center of the planet, we just need to get the length of this vector. So I'll drag out the output into the length node, like so. Okay, let me give myself a bit of space here, and what I'd like to do next is just convert this length value into a value between 0 and 1, depending on where it lies between the minimum and maximum elevation of the planet. So I'm going to create a new node here called inverse lerp, and I'll drag the min and max values into A and B, and this length value into time. I'll then connect the output of this to the albedo property of the master node, and this should give us a color from black to white, going from the lowest point on the planet to the highest point. I'll press Save Asset over here, and then just close out of this. And now if we regenerate the planet, we can see that that works as intended. Alright, so next I'd like to map a gradient to these height values. So I'm going to go back into shadergraph, and I'm going to create a new property, which will be a texture 2D, because we'll be converting our gradient to a texture. I'll just call this planet texture for its display name, and simply underscore texture over here. I'll then create a new node for sampling the texture 2D. So the texture input to this will be our planet texture property, and we can use this height value as the point that we want to sample. And I'll also just create a sampler state node here and just set the rep mode to clamp. Finally, I'll take the output of the sample texture to the albedo property of the master node. And let me just rearrange things slightly here. And I'll fold these up so that they don't take up quite so much space. Okay, when I'm done with that, I will save the shader and head over to the color settings script. And here I want to replace this planet color with a gradient, which I'll just call gradient. I will save that and then go into the color generator. And in here we're going to want to have a texture 2D. I'll just call that texture. And also a constant int for the resolution of the texture. So I'll call that texture resolution. Maybe set that equal to 50. Okay, so now in the constructor, I'm going to say texture is equal to a new texture 2D with a width of texture resolution and a height of 1. And then I'll have a public void update colors. Here I'll start by creating a color array, colors, equal to a new color array with a size of texture resolution. And then I'll have a for loop for when I equals 0, I less than texture resolution, I plus plus. You can say colors with an index of I is equal to settings.gradient.evaluate. And here we want a value between 0 and 1, so I'll pass in I divided by texture resolution minus 1f. The f is very important here, by the way, otherwise we'd be dividing an integer by an integer, which would round the result down to an integer. Outside of the loop, we can then say texture.setPixels, pass in the colors array, and then texture.apply, and then finally we want to pass this to our shader, so we can say settings.planetMaterial.setTexture. The name of this was underscore texture, and then pass in the texture variable. Now, one thing I'm slightly unhappy with here is that each time a setting changes, the planet reinitializes itself, which means a new shape generator and color generator is going to get created, and so we'll be creating a new texture each time as well. And I'd rather not have that happen. Instead, I am going to change this from a constructor to just a regular method called update settings, and then I'll only create a new texture object if the current texture is equal to null. I want to keep this in here, by the way, rather than, say, moving it up to the top, just because later on there will be some other things that will cause us to want to recreate the texture. Okay, so I'll save that, and then just for the sake of consistency between our two generator objects, I'll go into the shape generator. So this will be a public void update settings. Save that, and then in the planet, first of all, just down here in generate colors, I will remove that and replace it with color generator dot update colors, and then I will set shape generator equal to a new shape generator up here, and color generator equal to a new color generator, and then in the initialize method I will just call update settings on each of those, here passing in the shape settings, and here of course passing in the color settings. Oops, and that should be update settings. Okay, so now I will save that, go into Unity, let me close out of the shader, and then going onto the planet, we should be able to set the gradient here. So I'll try starting with a blue color for the ocean, maybe something like that, and then we can have some kind of sandy color for the shore. Then can get some grass. Up here maybe some mountains. Maybe the mountains get slightly darker towards the top, with some snow at the tips, and I'll add some different color grass over here. Just something like that. And if we want to try a different style, we can change the mode from blend to fixed, and that'll look something like that. But basically we have the first iteration of our planet shader working. So in future episodes we'll make this a lot more fancy, but I think that's a nice start. So until next episode, cheers.